And finally, the biggest risk is not taking risk. The biggest risk is not taking risk. I understand when I said how many people are going to do a startup, 3, 4 people raised their hand. More people walked in, so let's take another poll. How many people dream about doing their own startup, starting their own company? Fucking nice. Startups are the future. It's not really the future because it's here now. In the next generation, or maybe even your generation, jobs will not be with big outsourcing companies. They will be with successful startups like Preply and PetCube, great Ukrainian companies, like People AI, which is about to become a unicorn. You're going to be working at great Ukrainian startups, not outsourcing companies. Because the greatest risk is not taking a motherfucking risk. Anyone know what the Stanford Marshmallow test is? Only one. What's your name again? Roman. Look at the big brains on Roman. He knows all. The Stanford Marshmallow test is really fascinating. You know, many years ago, they took children and they put them in a room by themselves with a camera. And they gave them one marshmallow, which is an American candy. It's delicious. And they told these children, you can eat the marshmallow now. We're not going to tell your parents. It's yours. But if you wait till tomorrow, you'll get 3 marshmallows. 3 marshmallows. But you have to wait till tomorrow. So they measured. Some kids were like, fuck tomorrow. And other kids waited till tomorrow and got 3 marshmallows. Now they tracked how successful these kids were as they grew up. And it turns out that the kids that waited till tomorrow for 3 marshmallows were a lot more successful than the kids that went. And not just successful in work, but they had more successful marriages. The thing that hurts me the most, because in Ukraine, I think I've seen the largest collection of smart young people. The potential in this country is unfucking believable. But we have a whole nation of young people failing the Stanford Marshmallow test. Most developers, when I say, do you want $4,000 a month? No equity. Or do you want $3,500 a month with equity? Yuri says, that's $500. Give me the $500. Our first engineer we hired, he said, no, give me the money. I don't need the equity. I said, okay, I'm just curious. Why don't you want the equity? And he said, well, in Ukraine, you can't eat stock options. And I said, Oleg, we don't eat stock options in California. We buy houses with them. Waiting until the 3 marshmallows tomorrow. Working for equity. Taking risk in doing your own startup is the way to be free. Again, for too long, other people have owned young Ukrainians' futures. I have a vision that one day young people will own their own futures. Not some big outsourcing company, not some oligarch's company. None of these people give you equity. The biggest risk is not taking risk. This is an actual email from the employee number 1 of Airbnb. He quit because startups are hard. And he told the founders, I love you guys, but you really need to get your shit together. I'm out. When I started my first company, my co-founder, Elliot, was my roommate at university. And we both were going to quit our jobs and do this startup. Why did we choose call center software? Because he worked at the call center division of Cisco. And that was all we knew. You work at call center division of Cisco, then we'll do a call center startup. I quit my job, and then later he called me and said, bro, I'm so sorry. I can't quit. I decided not to quit. Too much risk. It's too much risk. Do you think poor Elliot doesn't think every day of his life as he's driving a Hyundai or whatever he's driving, I could have been driving a Tesla. I could have been doing anything I wanted. I could have had so many choices. I could have been the co-founder of a multi-billion-dollar company. And instead I'm doing this shit. Because now Elliot realizes the greatest risk is not taking risk. Here's my top 10 rules of risk taking. You are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with outside your family. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with outside your family. So who are these 5 people going to be? They're going to be people you like to go smoke marijuana with, they're fun to party with, or they're people that they're smarter than you, so they make you feel stupid sometimes, but they're always challenging you, you're always learning new shit from being around them. Who are you going to be the average of? And obviously we all need to be friends with Roman over there. Add him to our 5, right? I think too many of us spend our time with people that make us feel good about ourselves and not people who challenge us. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with outside your family. Choose very wisely. The other thing is, every successful product, every successful career is the result of a consistent series of experiments, right? Our first company, it was like, no, that doesn't work, no, no, maybe that, no, oh, IPO. Second company, same thing. Third company, our company JetBridge here in Kiev, same thing. Don't do this. Fine, forget it. It's okay to fail. Failure is just data. Failure is just data. Failure is just data for a new experiment. That's all. People read my TechCrunch article about my first company and they're like, oh my God, that was amazing. It wasn't amazing. It was a fucking grind, and we just kept failing and failing and failing and failing until we finally figured it out, and you will too. If I can do it, I swear to God you can do it. We talked about failing 49 times or getting 49 no's before the 50th yes. But what I've seen successful people do, we talked about successful people have habits. They're always experimenting, whether it's reading a new book they didn't think they would read, right? Getting a new side project on Upwork to learn new skills. Successful people are always experimenting with something. Unsuccessful people are watching Netflix. Always be experimenting with something. Always be experimenting with something. I run a company here now called JetBridge, and my job for my Ukrainian teammates is to teach them both hard skills so that they're the best coder possible, and soft skills like this, so that one day they can do their own startup or work at Google or Facebook, whatever they want. That's my job at JetBridge, okay? For those people that like this startup idea, they like the idea of working with VC-funded startups from Silicon Valley, go see Yulia in the back. I want to say one last thing. At JetBridge, we're opening an office in Poland, and I love Poland. We've got amazing friends there. It's a wonderful country. Very nice to live in. But I was just there last week because we're opening a new office there. And my Polish friends made a joke. They said, oh, John, I see on Facebook you love Ukraine. You know, Ukraine's just like Poland 25 years ago. And that really made me angry because I love this country. This is my spiritual homeland, Ukraine. I know it sounds strange for a Korean person to say that, but I love this country. It made me really angry. And I don't think there's anything wrong 25 years from now if Ukraine is the next Poland. It's a great place. But what if Ukraine is South Korea 25 years ago? You guys have all the fucking talent in the world in this room to do it. We just need to learn these soft skills. And again, the most important thing I can teach you is that the greatest risk is not taking risk. Thank you guys so much. You've been amazing. I'm so honored to be here. This is great. Thank you.